So we are now recording.
Yeah, I was delayed today, delayed this morning because they had some discussion on the Trump,
Every time, for the last 4 years.
Trump,
That's the answer.
whatever.
Everything he's been
Yeah,
told is
the convention
wrong.
then.
You don't need to keep coming back and hoping
Yeah.
for a different answer. There's no reason to be doing that.
Oh, wow, here's.
So then he changed his mind right away. He slid over to, well, we still have to deal with Steve. I said, what's wrong with Steve? He goes, we've got to apologize. I said, for what? He didn't do anything to apologize.
Sure.
That threw him over the top.
So Bill today talks to him.
Okay, so we're recording now. So
Let me call you back because we're at Elmer. We're doing an interview with Elmer, and it's I got it on the phone.
okay. So got that going, and got one more thing I need to get operating here. It should be going here in a minute, but actually, a better way doing it.
That's quite an outfit you have.
Yeah, it works.
It works.
Basically, the amount of equipment here to do what this does, 20 years ago, this would have cost like $100,000.
Really?
It does, or $50,000. It doesn't cost anywhere. It's like a fraction of that now because I couldn't afford that much. But, okay, so I'm gonna let this run to. If I can, oh, maybe put the battery in it. So first of all, while I'm getting the battery going, why don't you tell me a little bit about your background? I know you played in the big band, but I don't know a whole lot else. So a little bit of your background, a little bit of your story.
Well, I go back to about when I was in grammar school, where I first learned how to play a clarinet and a saxophone. And I had a teacher. I studied with a teacher for 7 years. Because this is as time progressed.
Hold on just a second. I'm hearing them a little bit in the background, so I'm going to do some. Now they're quiet. I'm going to put a little microphone on you.
Mhm.
That way background noise will be a little bit less noticeable and stuff like that. Get this. So what I'll do is just put this on right
He's in the.
here and your tower.
That's your trustee board.
Do you play?
And
Do you play?
we're now recording. So,
Testing 1, 2.
Oh, cool.
yep, looks pretty good. Make sure I put this back where it belongs.
Better.
Okay. We're going once again, and just gonna put that off to the side so it's not in the middle of your face. Okay. So, you mentioned you started music in grammar school. Where did you go to school?
St. Stanislaus.
And
On Peckham and Fillmore.
okay, so in the
On
city.
that area. Yep, it was a Catholic church. And other than music, I ran track. And it had a lot of bearing on my ability to play. You know, build up my reading and I can't continue going to school, right? You know, private school. Well, this all originated with what's the name of that outfit? Wurlitzer.
Mm-hmm.
Wurlitzer used to come around the neighborhoods and so I had
one more thing with you. I'm gonna put this down here so your hands don't have it.
talking my hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Wurlitzer used to come around.
Say again?
So Wurlitzer used to come around to the neighborhoods.
Well, I ran track. I was well known for racing, and of course, I played the clarinet in a marching band with the church. And so after grammar school, I went to Seneca Vocational and continued my music there also. You know, mostly clarinet, and then I worked for Westinghouse, and I had occasion to play with a lot of good musicians. Combo work, 4 or 5 guys, and we played little clubs, and then afterwards I let's see, I went into the military when I was 21, I guess, and playing a musical instrument gave me a lot of how can I put it?
Credibility.
Got a lot of
advantage.
I got a lot of attention because I played an instrument. So when they took me in basic training, I played clarinet also, and the small bands. And then out of my basic training, I wound up in San Francisco, and they put me on a big ship, big cruise ship, and while we're at sea, just out of port, and I went down in the ship stores, and they had instruments, and well, previous to that, when I was in high school, I played quite a bit, just combo work, and then the fact that I played instruments, I was able to get a lot of attention. And one of the things that helped me is while we were in the ship store, I borrowed an instrument, and while everybody was on deck, I went up. I was in the U.S. Air Force, so they kept us in what was a ballroom, what ballroom in peacetime. So everybody was on deck, and I went down and borrowed a horn from the ship store, and they had us in the U.S. Air Force. They had us in the ballroom, and so I went about on the fourth level, and I took the horn out, and I was playing away. I looking at that sky, and not the sky, but the ceiling was painted with lights and whatnot. So I'm picturing myself playing for a big outfit, you know, big people dancing and that. But it was just empty. The ballroom was empty, and so it lasted about 15-20 minutes. And so I noticed that people started coming in off the deck, and who's playing up there? Who's playing? I said, that's Nicolas. I said, well, no. So I received some recognition, you know. So when everybody came into their stores, then I had to put the horn away. So all that time overseas, it took us 12 days to get to New Guinea. And when we got to New Guinea, there again I borrowed a horn, and I was playing when I was in one of the islands. In New Guinea is actually the island, and so I had to put the instrument away for 2-3 years, and yeah, and on the way back. Bring back memories. Like I said, it took us 12 days to get to New Guinea because we had to avert the canal zone.
Right.
The ship was too big to go into the canal zone. So, so that after that, I was in code class. I was a specialist as far as my ability to copy code and send messages. And so they put me into the at the airport. You know, just a little airport. But my responsibility was to copy code and send it messages.
Okay, I'd like to ask you a few questions about Buffalo back in that era.
Okay.
Now you were, can I ask how old you are?
Where?
How old are you now?
91.
91, so you must have been born around 1925.
Right.
And so you grew up in the Buffalo of the 1930s. Going back to when you were a kid, what was Buffalo like as a place in the 30s for music and for 30s and early 40s? Were there a lot of places to play? What kind of music did you hear?
Well, yeah, well, I was, of course, I was kind of real young, being in grammar school, and so I played a lot of dances for the 4 or 5 guys we were playing in what would be the hall, and it was for the people that belonged to that church. So that. But after that, it was just a question of playing 2, 3, 4 guys and just tooting away with the clarinet. One guy on the accordion, the other guy on drums, and we would practice in homes, either my home or their home.
Now, was Buffalo a jazz town at the time?
No, it was more like a polka, you know, Polish music, you know, and there wasn't much music on the radio, you know, that we could sit down and listen to it. Sundays were Polish music on the radio. So
So you learned to play some polkas.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Clarinet's big in the polka
yeah,
music, right?